what's your name and how long have you been at Brockwood?
So my name's Rowan, and this is my 4th year at Brockwood.
Now, it might seem quite a long time ago now, but how long did it take you to kind of feel settled at Brockwood?
I think it didn't take too much time because I knew a couple of the people that were already here, and I kind of had an idea of what it was like. I'm also from England, so it's not a drastic change for me, but I think in general it didn't take too long.
And do you feel that over the 4 years that you've been here that you've changed? And if you do feel you've changed, how do you think you've changed?
Yeah, I definitely came to Brockwood with certain expectations of how I wanted it to be or how I would thought it would be. And then over time that kind of was molded into a different perception of how I view things. And now I feel like I approach a situation and interactions with people with a bit of a different mindset. One that I'd like to think is a bit more fluid and perhaps less fixed in a certain objective or bias.
And how do you feel the whole education works here? So what's your educational journey been while you've been at Brockwood?
So I joined age 14, and so I did a lot of the generic classes of maths and English and everything else in between, and I tried out some of the more unique classes to Brockwood. And then in the last 2 years I've been completing A-levels, so 3 of them, and that's been going on alongside co-curricular activities like woodwork or drama that are kind of more hands-on and more physical. But I think in general the education at Brockwood offers a bit of an opportunity to allow the students to explore what they're interested in, or if they don't know, then kind of try different things and find their own path rather than, I guess just encouraging an alternative way of viewing education both in a classroom and also learning as a whole.
So do you feel that you have a voice within the school, and do you feel that students help run the school?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a heavy contribution from the student community towards day-to-day activities and also more one-off events. And then there's various forums if there's an issue, or if you're curious about something, or if you'd like an event to be organised, then I think there's definitely the space for that. And I feel that in myself, in my 4 years here, I've contributed to that and seen that other people really use it as a forum.
So there's a feeling that the school is as much your school as maybe the other people in the community, like the staff here. You feel like it's your school in some sense?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think so. I think as people get more comfortable at Brockwood, perhaps how long they stay here, they tend to be more involved. But as a student body as a whole, then I think so.
What do you feel and think about the community and the overall relationships here at Brockwood?
This being an international school, I think it allows for the opportunity to meet a wide variety of people from different ages and backgrounds and cultures and viewpoints on life, whether it be the staff members or your fellow students. And I think that, for me at least, really opened my eyes to different cultures and views. And I think there's a very strong connection as we live together. I think it's kind of innate that we get to know each other quite well, and we have classes together and we eat together. And so I think you really get to know your fellow students. Obviously your friends more so, but as a whole school I think it's quite connected, and also with the staff there's very clear, it's all kind of integrated together in a sense. There's not divide between staff and students. It's quite cohesive.
And do you feel that everything, like the curriculum, the community that's here, do you think that helps build a sense of independent thinking?
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of aspects of Brockwood that are built into the curriculum, either explicitly or implicitly, just the way that the classes are taught and how you're encouraged to approach things, that allows for people to, as you say, think independently and not necessarily take a specific viewpoint as the objective truth or as the right way to approach something.
Do you think that you developed that while you were at Brockwood, or do you think that was something that you came with?
I think I had an essence of it when I arrived at Brockwood, and I think it is something that drew me to Brockwood in the first place. But I think it's definitely matured over my 4 years here, and it's great.
Are you leaving Brockwood this year? And if so, what are your plans for next year and the future?
I am leaving Brockwood this year, and my next step is most likely to go to university in England and study a bachelor's degree. But alongside that, I think I'm still quite open to alternative directions that may arise. I'm not necessarily fixed on university, but right now it's the main focus for me.
Do you know which course you might study?
Hopefully economics in Bath University.
And how do you feel about leaving? Do you feel equipped and ready to leave Brockwood?
Yeah, I think being here 4 years means that I've become quite attached to the place in some senses. But I think that practically I'm very prepared. There's nothing really that I would like that I don't have in that sense. But in terms of a feeling of the environment that Brockwood nurtures, I think it's the kind of place that I would like to be around in the future. And I think I've learned a lot from it academically and otherwise. But I think it's a good time to move on after staying 4 years. I don't know if I would want to continue it, at least in the same way that I have